I'm muted. Oh, sorry. Hello, how are you? Can you hear me now? Sorry. I do apologise. I'd put the mute on so you couldn't hear the dog snoring at the start of the video. I do apologise, guys. Hopefully you can hear me now. Um, look, I do think, going back to what I just said a minute ago, the league is over. The league is done and dusted. It's finished. It's over. The league has happened. They've won the league. They're 16 points clear. They're not going to lose any more ground. They're not going to be, I don't believe, they're not going to lose 5 games between now and the end of the season. Even if they were to lose the next 2 Old Firm games, they're still not going to lose 5 games this season. They're still not going to have. It's still not going to be a situation that Rangers can get this league back. It is not going to happen. To me, this kind of smacks a little bit of Clement still thinking he can win the league, which. That's the team that he's named. I would have loved to have seen more youngsters in this team, see more young players. I really would. I'd love to see Curtis and Rice getting a start. I'd love to see Curtis and Rice getting the opportunity to play today. They're the future. How are you ever going to find out if these kids are good enough if you don't play them? So to me, Clement is a bit of a dick for not playing them. He should be playing these kids because at the end of the day, like I said, if you want to find out if Rice and if you want to find out that Rice and obviously Curtis can play it, then obviously you've got to kind of see, is that a possibility? What's the situation with that? Can it work? I don't get it personally. I don't get it. CGM55 says Lawrence really. Clement may as well play himself and Ray. Jack Meadows says woohoo. CJ and I says morning everyone, still can't decide on watching the match or washing my car. CGM says what's the benefit of playing Lawrence, a player who is an injury waiting to happen, a player leaving in the summer? Yeah, this is what I mean, CGM. I mean, to me this team says that Clement still thinks he can win the league. That's what it says. Why would you, I mean, for me now going in towards the end of the season, you should be looking at next season. You should be looking at, can Rangers get into a position where at the end of the day we're looking at this in terms of planning for next season. I know it's a really horrible thing to be saying, I know it's a really horrible thing to be thinking, but we are effectively planning for next season now. We are effectively getting ready for the new season. Haha, JG, very funny. Put the mute button back on. Why are we putting the mute button back on? Because you don't agree with what I'm saying? Because you're a happy clapper? JG, happy clapper alert is in the building. But yeah, I agree. Why play Lawrence? I mean, the league's done. I mean, seriously, any Rangers fan that seriously thinks that we can win the league still is clearly drunk, high, or just genuinely deluded. If you think we can still win the league, please tell me why. Why you think that is the case? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. Stuart Allison says, why is he not playing Dessers off Igaman? A solo striker doesn't suit our team. Stuart, I think the issue we've got is that Igaman can't play off Dessers. That's the issue. I think he can play if he is the main striker and Danilo is off him. If Danilo is on the left or Danilo is in the 10 role, which I think Danilo can do. Danilo is not even on the bench today, which is quite remarkable considering obviously he is, fit. So I don't get that one. But, I think the problem's been that when Dessers has played, Dessers can only play through the middle. He can only play as a 9. Dessers cannot play anywhere else. He is not capable of playing out wide. He's not capable of playing as a 10. Dessers is a 9. But Igaman, when Dessers has played, has looked bad, has looked poor, has looked devoid of confidence. So Clement's got to try and get Hamza back to his best. I think putting Hamza through the middle, is the sensible suggestion. But at the end of the day, I agree, 2 strikers does work better. But the best 2 strikers we've got, one of them's not fit yet again, Danilo. Jack Meadows says, I voted for Rangers win today, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. CGM55 in the live chat says, no point in playing youth if you then turn around and slag them off in the press the following week. Clement's comments about Rice were poor to say the least. Yeah, I agree with that. Clement's comments coming out and saying what he said about Bailey Rice not having that special skill or that special ability or whatever was bang out of order. And I mean, way to destroy a young man's confidence. Bailey Rice is a very talented footballer, probably the future of this club. And Clement's come out and basically just ripped his confidence out of him, threw it on the floor and stamped all over it. I mean, yet more proof that this manager needs to fuck right off. So, there we go. Kenneth Rutherford says, Lawrence sad face, King on the bench, sad face, one up front, sad face. Dinio isn't fit, trains on Monday. Yeah, I mean, Dinio just, it's a weird one, isn't it, with him? The team, anyway, just so we go through it, is Butland in goal, obviously. Back four, Tavernier, Suter, and Ciala, and Hiefte. I've got to say, I'm pleased that he's gone with Suter and Ciala. I did kind of have a concern that he was going to go with... Suter and Proper, but Nsiala and Suter for me are the best centre-half pairing we have. They're the best two players we've got at this moment in time, so I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with Suter and Nsiala. Hiefte, I'm a bit surprised Hiefte gets the start. I think Hiefte has been poor this season. I don't think he's played well at the end. Well, not this season, but towards this last part of the season, he has not played well. He's defensively been weak. He's defensively been poor. So, I'm surprised he gets the nod at left back. I personally would have gone with Ridvan at left back. I know Ridvan hasn't been great either, but Hiefte for me looks like a player that needs a little bit of a rest. So that's why I wouldn't have played him today. Raskin and Dio in front of the back four. I'm not surprised. I did say on the video this morning, didn't I, that I thought that he would go with Dio and Raskin as much as I wanted him to go with Dio and go with Raskin and, of course, with Rice. He hasn't done it. I'm not surprised. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So I do feel, however, that he should have probably played Rice today, given Rice a little bit more confidence to get back into this today. But he hasn't done it. I'm not surprised. I mean, Philippe Clement has not got any faith whatsoever in youth, has he? He doesn't like young players. He doesn't want young players in the team. I don't think he likes young players. I mean, he came out with that bollocks, didn't he, about young players? And he spoke about young players, but I think it's a load of bollocks. Personally, I think it's an absolute load of bollocks. Optimus Prime, congratulations, of course, to Optimus Prime, who has been a member for 13 months. Thank you very much for your support, Optimus. Remember, you can become a member for 99p, guys. That's all it costs. Optimus Prime says, to be honest, I fancy a Hearts win if we play rubbish. I can't listen to Phil anymore. And who's going to be the next Motherwell manager? I was like, wow, Motherwell sacked their manager. I didn't know that. I looked at that. Where is Sterling? Another injury-prone player, asks C-Max. Surprised he isn't playing Proper. Can't actually really say Proper has been that bad recently. Hiefte has been poor for weeks. He's lucky Ridvan is honking at the moment. Yeah, I think if Ridvan was playing a little bit better, then maybe, just maybe, we would possibly see, we would possibly see that, we would possibly see Ridvan starting, but Ridvan has not been great, has he, of recent times. I'm just going to bring your live chat up on the screen so you can see it as well, on the screen. So your comments are actually up on the screen too. If it will start, if it will work. I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so look, guys, I mean, this team today, let's have a quick look again. Let's keep going through the team. Cheney on the right. You can only imagine that Hadji is going to be on the left and Lawrence is going to be in the 10 role. I can't believe that... I can't really believe that Hadji is going to play 10 and Lawrence is going to play as a winger, because, I mean, one of the kind of key things you've got to have as a winger is you've got to have pace. And let's face it, Lawrence has zero pace. Lawrence hasn't got any pace at all. So I don't think that. I don't think that, that I think Lawrence will be in the 10. I mean, I really don't get Lawrence playing. I mean, I just think he is slow. He slows the game down. He's poor. He's just a bad footballer, a very bad footballer, and I really wouldn't be playing him today. What do I reckon the result will be, says Daffith? I think 2-1 Rangers. I still think we'll win. Because I think we'll win, Daffith, because at the end of the day, Rangers tend to win when there's no pressure, and there is no pressure today. They get the league's over. The league's done and dusted. Rangers, in the second half of the season when Beale was in charge, played some really good football and looked like a really good team once the pressure was off. The league's over. It's done. They've won the league. We might as well give them the trophy now and let them keep polishing it till the end of the season. And Igaman up front. The bench today, Kelly, Ridvan, Proper, Dessers, Bayrami, Fernandez, King, Rice and Curtis. I mean, I really do hope that at some point we get to see, we get to see Rice and Curtis on. I don't for a minute think we will get to see Rice and Curtis today. He will no doubt have some absolute bullshit excuse why he can't play Rice and Curtis today, why they can't play, why they can't why they can't come on. I think if he brings anybody on, he'll bring Bayrami on, he'll bring Fernandez on, he'll bring Dessers on, Proper on, Ridvan on. He won't bring Rice or Curtis on because, like I said, Philippe Clement is an absolute liar when it comes to playing the young players, isn't it? All About Rangers says Suterman and Ciala agree. Worried game might pass Dio by again. Igaman up top in his best position is right. Although Dessers has been in better form recently, Lawrence is just strange. I agree. I think Hadji will be out on the left, but will drift inside. I think that's probably true. Yeah, he'll start out wide, he'll drift in like he does for Romania. Pointless Maze says pointless playing Lawrence and Hadji is wasted on the wing. I agree with you, Maze. It's yet more example of Philippe Clement playing players out of position. Something that he has a real problem with and a real disease for. What else have we got on here? It says Curtis won't need to bring his boots, says CGM55. I know Curtis might as well not bother. I mean, he genuinely might as well not bother even warming up. I mean, he might as well just go and sit with his mum in the stands because he ain't going to get any game time today. I mean, like I said, if Clement brings on anybody, he's going to bring on he's going to bring on Bayrami, isn't he, on the left? He's not going to bring on he's not going to bring on him under any circumstances. So I don't get it. I mean, I genuinely don't get it. Like I said, to me, this smacks of a team that Clement genuinely thinks the league is still on. That he genuinely believes that he thinks that he can still thinks he can win the league. That's what this team to me kind of reminds me of a little bit. All About the Rangers says that's the big question, as you say. Where does Hadji play? I think he'll play left wing. Like I said, I don't think and I can't see him playing Lawrence out wide. Lawrence has got no speed. He's got no pace. So one of the kind of key things, and one of the things that obviously people have talked, haven't they, about Tavernier being a winger, but playing as a winger. Again, the one thing you kind of got to say about that is that that Tavernier has no pace. So that's why he can't play up there. And it's the same for Lawrence. Lawrence has no pace either. So, Lawrence has got zero speed. So realistically, can you play a player with no pace in the team? I don't believe so. I really don't believe so. So for me, I think Clement's got a lot wrong. He's got a lot wrong. He really has. But you look at this team today and you kind of say, well, I'm glad. I mean, the positives we can take out of this team, the real positives we can take out of this team is that Czerny's obviously fit and playing, that we've got Hadji in the team, obviously, who's been probably the best player, well, probably along with Czerny and Raskin, one of the three best players that have played this season. That Hamza is up top, that he's playing through the middle. I certainly think that is probably, that is good that he's there. I think overall for me as well, you've got a situation there where you've got the bench. The bench to me is a concern. The bench is a real concern. To me, there's no strength in that bench whatsoever. There's no impact in that bench. There really isn't. You look at that and you look at where does the impact come from? Given the fact that he's not going to play Curtis and he's not going to play Rice, you look at where does the impact come from? Where does the game-changing ability come from in that actual bench? Bayrami has been kind of a complete passenger. He has been a complete passenger. Dessers is genuinely consistently inconsistent. Dessers could come on, score a hat-trick, but he could equally come on and miss a hat-trick of chances. We don't know. You never know with Dessers, do you? You never know what you're going to get with Dessers. You never know whether you're going to get the hat-trick or whether you're going to get an absolute balls up from Dessers. That is serial Dessers all over. Finley Curtis for me is an impact player, but whether we see Finley Curtis or not, I want to see youth given a chance. I want to see our young players out there. I want to see our young players competing, see what we've got in these young players. All About the Rangers says, these are the games we find out more on Nsiala versus a tough away grounds. It'll be physical. He did well away to United. I agree. He didn't play for United though. All About Rangers. He was not in the European squad. But yeah, I think, today is the day we do find out a little bit about Nsiala. A little bit more about him. Can he cope, with a Hearts team that are resurgent, a Hearts team that are doing well at the moment. John Lammy, afternoon. How you doing, buddy? Scott says Clement likes Lawrence getting him ready for the European ties. Yeah, look, Scott, you're not going to get any argument from me on that one. Clement is a massive Lawrence fan. You can tell that from the way he talks about him. I would not be surprised if Lawrence doesn't get a new 2-year deal. I genuinely wouldn't. I think, he isn't, at the end of the day, Lawrence, I think, will get a new deal. I think Lawrence will still be here next season. I don't think Lawrence will leave. I think he will keep Lawrence. He likes Lawrence. He talks about Lawrence all the time. Personally, I don't rate Tom Lawrence at all. I think he's really dropped off massively. Alan says Clement can do as he pleases. Yeah, agree. He doesn't need to worry about the sack. He's bomb proof. There's that saying, isn't there? The saying is, if there was a nuclear war tomorrow, the only thing that would survive would be cockroaches. Well, I think you could add to that, the only thing that would survive a nuclear war is cockroaches and Philippe Clement. The guy's bomb proof, absolutely bomb proof. He ain't going to get the sack, is he? Absolutely not. I agree. All About Rangers says the only impact is Curtis, as he's direct and likes a shot. He won't get on. Dessers is the modern day Ted McGinn. Bayrami shouldn't play, but he will be on before Curtis. Agreed. Dado Perso's Blue Boot says Tom Lawrence, Jesus. Get Optimus on the pitch, he could do better. Agreed. I was meaning Dundee United, mate. Oh, okay, fair enough, mate. Sorry about that. Was up against their big striker and did well after a slow start from the whole team. I agree, he did. John Lammy says Tom Lawrence, God Almighty, no. And I've got to say that is the majority reaction that I'm seeing, on social media from Rangers fans towards the situation with Lawrence actually starting. Look, I agree. I've got to say, when it comes to Tom Lawrence, I agree with what David Edgar said. David Edgar came out and he said, he came out and he said that he's a 20-minute player. That he's a player who you can get out there for the last 20 minutes as an impact player. That's it. I agree with him. You can't use him for 90 minutes. He's not a 90-minute player for me. He really isn't. CJ and I says, how does Phil motivate a team for the league now, considering he can't motivate them at the best of times? Do you think this team will play to save him? I don't know. You know what? I genuinely don't know, CJ and I. When you look at this Rangers team and you look at any Rangers team at the moment, I think they get up for European games, certainly. But other than European games, they don't really get up for any games. I think they play when it suits them. I think they play when they fancy it. I don't know today. I honestly don't know today what the situation will be as regards the how the team will play today. Look, it's Rangers. Who knows? Who knows how they're going to play? They could come out and play absolutely brilliantly. They could come out and play absolutely appallingly. You never know these days, do you? That's the sad thing about it. Guys, please remember, if you've just found the channel, this is a free Rangers content channel. We don't charge you for any of the content. We don't hide our content behind paywalls. Please smash the sub and help the channel to keep on growing. And obviously smash the like and comment on the video. It does help beat the thing. You can become a member for 99p, or you can give us a super chat to help support the channel. We do have a goal running at the moment. We have another one running through the live watch along, which comes later. Like pro players have said before, you don't need to be motivated for Euro game. Absolutely true. Paul McCorrickle says, we all know Hadji wide doesn't work in the 10. Play Curtis wide, move Hadji in the 10. Paul, that's spot on, mate. That is what I have been saying, or that's what I said this morning. That's what I said, I've been saying all along. Put Curtis out wide. That's his best position. Put Hadji in the 10. Let Hadji get in there, influence, cause problems, prompt, thread little balls through, create problems, all those things. I do think that is the best way for him. I really do. So for me, I agree. Paul McCorrickle, absolutely brilliant. I agree 100% with what you've just said. Alan Abbott says, do you think Lawrence has compromising pictures of Clement? Mate, I don't know. Must do. All About Rangers says, you need to be a type to be successful at the Rangers domestically. We don't have enough of that type in Europe. They are that type, hence the much better performances. Europe is a lot I think Europe suits these players a lot better. You get more time on the ball. You get more time to play. It's not a million miles an hour. It's not as physical. It's not as in your face, is it, as Scottish football? These Hearts team for today, guys, just in case you're interested in the Hearts team for today. Hearts team for today, Gordon in goal. I'm sure he'll bring his Zimmer frame along to the game. I mean, Craig Gordon must be about 50 now. I mean, I can remember him playing about 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, how old is Craig Gordon, just as a matter of interest? He must be nearly 50. The rest of the team is Baningme, Grant, Shankland, Stein, Vender, Spittle, Kabangu, Wilson, Penrice, McCart and Forrester. The bench they have today is Clark, obviously Xander Clark, Neuenhoff, Forrest, Milne, Nelson, Khartoum, Musa, Vargas and Taylor. So yeah, Wilson up front for them, probably. That's probably who they've gone with, I would guess. He's 41. My God, he's 41. Craig Gordon is 41. I don't know how old he is. Craig, if they don't respond today after last week and criticism with the high temp game, they never will. All About the Rangers says, what's your prediction for today? Going for 2-2. Hearts are in form and playing well. Hearts are playing well. They haven't lost in the last 5. They're, Shanklin is playing Optimus Prime. He will play in the 10 role, I think, off Wilson. I hate the way Hearts do their lineups in numerical order. Yeah, me too. It's a bit shit, isn't it? It would be better if they did it in sort of formation order. Predictions for today. What are your predictions for today's game? I'd love to know what you're predicting. Get them into the live chat now. My personal prediction I'm going to stick to is 2-1 to Rangers. I think we're going to go 2-1. Hamza to score, Cheney to score. John Lammy says Hearts 2-1 or a boring 1-1. John Lammy with no faith in the team today. Look, I mean, what gives me faith for today's game is, the fact that I genuinely believe that Hearts, will come out and play. And I honestly believe that Rangers are a team that when there's no pressure on them, when there is no issue there, when there is no worry there, they play better. They do. They really do. So I do think we'll get a go. Fair play to Craig Gordon, still a top keeper. I'm not saying he's not a top goalkeeper. I'm just saying that he's very old. It gives me hope that maybe I could still play football, although I'm 46. Let's have a look. Craig Gordon is 42. He's 42. Bloody hell, he's 42 years old and still playing football. He's 4 years younger than me. Goodness me. Paul McCorrickle says, what do you think the reason is we never got Katic back until the summer? No brainer for me. He would run through the brick wall for us. Paul, I don't. I think with Katic, it's probably the fact that he does not fit the trading model. He doesn't fit the kind of the type of footballer we're going for at the moment. I mean, he's 28 years old, so there's no resale value there in Katic. Whereas, Rafael Fernandez, if we sign him, there is resale value there. And Ciala, there's resale value there. If you look at a lot of the signings we've made, bar proper, they all have resale value. They all have, I think they're all players who the club can sell on for a profit if they develop. So that's why I think that we haven't done that, mate. Honestly, that's what I think. I mean, feel free to disagree with me. Feel free to disagree. Stuart says, fair play to Creed, goes to the top keeper. Dado, Bluebells of Blue says, how can he seriously put the same formation out there? His arrogance is next level. Hearts will score, we won't. Optimus Prime says 3-1 Rangers. If we're crap, then 2-1 Hearts. Scott says 3-3. Clement will not change his system. No, he won't, mate. He won't change his system. It's one of the things the Monaco fans told us, that he is very intransigent and very unflexible. They did tell us that, didn't they, when we brought him in as manager. We must have a reaction after that. Cup Shamble, says Luke 46. I agree, there's got to be a reaction there. Unfortunately, I think it'll be 2-2, says Mays. 2-2, says Dado. Morning, Owen. I just dropped my vote for a draw, but we will win, says Emmy. Hopefully we'll win yet. Owen, you look younger. Any chance of lending me a fiver? Ha ha. Mate, I ain't got it. Mate, seriously, you want a fiver? I've got literally no money now to last to the end of the month. I've got 12 days to get through and get to work without any money. I don't know how I'm going to do it. We will struggle a draw. It's a 12 kickoff, our dreaded slow start time. How many times does it take us to work our way into the game when it's weird occurrence? I agree. I mean, there was a comment made the other day on, I can't remember what I was watching, but someone said, Rangers only had intensity after they went 1-0 down. the other day. I believe that, that we've got to start with the same intensity as if we're 1-0 down. Look at how Celtic start games. As much as I hate them, they do start games well. They do start games at pace. They do go after teams right from the off. We need to do the same. Luke says I'm going 3-1. Alan Abbott says 4-1 Rangers. Davey Weir at the time had no resale potential at the time, but he steadied the ship at the back. I agree, Paul. I would have, Paul, you're preaching to the converted here, mate. I would have brought Katic in. I 100% would have brought him back. But I think he doesn't fit this model that the current club are going for. And I don't think you'll see players aged over 28, 29 anymore brought to the club. I think it will all be young players that have resale value now. And Ciala, we tested today, he will. Why is everyone hating Big Phil? It's a rebuild, they take time. JG, I disagree. Everyone's hating Big Phil because the team is not making any progress. It's been 18 months. There is no style, there is no shape, there is no formation. The tactics are awful, his in-game management is poor. We're not going to, again, it's going to be a trophyless season. We're 13 points behind Celtic. Mate, it's not a rebuild, it's a disaster. And I can't remember who it was at the start of the live chat said. Was it James, I think, at the start of the live chat said, the only fans that want Clement to stay as Rangers manager are Celtic fans. I think that says it all. It's not Clement, it's Lement. We'll lost about 3-1, says Sean. John Lammy says, whoever scores first, I think they will go on to win the game, says John. Stu Allison, how many minutes do you think Lawrence will last? His injury history is pretty vast. I'm just never confident with away games under this manager. Sadly, I voted a draw, which may be a first for me. Yes, there is, Scott. I am doing a watch-along. There is a watch-along coming up. I'm going to go and prep for it shortly. So look, that's where we're at. Ange's done his rebuild in 6 weeks, John Lammy says. He did. He rebuilt. Obviously he had a lot more money than us, but having said that, he didn't actually spend that much money from what I remember. Paul McCorrickle says we need to play 2 up top today. We do, but he's not going to, is he? I do feel though, Paul, that we play better when we've got Hamza and Danilo. I don't think Hamza and Dessers works. Because one of the things you notice about Hamza and Danilo is that they will interchange positions. They will move in and out of position. So at one point you'll have Hamza as the 9, Danilo as the 10 or the winger. And then the next minute you'll see Hamza out wide, Danilo through the middle. And you'll see a fluidity and a flexibility of movement. With Cyril Dessers, you don't see that. Dessers only wants to play through the middle. He won't go out wide. He won't drop back into the 10. He's just not that type of player. So I think, the whole situation with Hamza being stuck out on the left wing, which he is when Dessers plays, doesn't work, and it does destroy. I think it's destroyed Hamza's confidence. Some of the players have to shoulder some of the blame. I agree, Luke 46. As I've said on the videos this week, it's not just the manager; it is the board and it is the players too. Hamza with 3, then next game back out on the left, probably. Alan, remember the Celtic rebuild took like 6 weeks. Ours has taken 18 months, and we've gone backwards. Agree. Igman's Tash says, not sure what Lawrence has done to earn a start today. Me neither. My confidence when it comes to away games is shot. If you honestly think it's going to be 2-2 draw the day, I'm going 2-1, mate, to us. But there we go. Sick of hearing about a rebuild. It's a convenient excuse to use. It's the one thing I'm going to say, Stuart, about that is it's an excuse that only gets trotted out after we lose. You never hear him talk about the rebuild when we win. Or when we draw. You only hear him talk about the rebuild. It comes out as the excuse when we lose. It's never there when there's a draw or there's a victory. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Surely it's a rebuild. It's always a rebuild. Curry says the game we played 2 up front. I think Rangers looked a far more in-threatening team, but getting a balance is the key. Stevie says it might be a rebuild, but they've been working together long enough for us to see some sort of progress. I agree, and there has been no progress. Optimus Prime says, Phil talks a lot of crap. Yeah, he does. 3-1 to us today. We have a great record against Hearts. We do have a good record against Hearts. The poll today that's running, what will the result be today? 32% say a Hearts win, 49% say a Rangers win, and 19% say a draw. That's got to be the lowest ever percentage I've ever seen in all my time doing this for a Rangers win. That's mad. That is crazy. Crazy times, guys. Crazy times. Right, guys, that is it for the build-up. We will be back shortly with your live watch-along, so please come and join us for the live watch-along. I'm going to go and prep for that now, get set up for it. Thank you for joining me this morning, with the live chat, guys. Thank you for your comments. 118 people watching. Please smash the like on the way out, and if you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Look, one thing that I am unapologetic about is that I will always speak my mind. I will always speak what I feel. If you don't like it, then tough luck. I'm not being quieting down for anybody. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to come on here and happy clap. I'm not going to come on here and say things are great when they're not. I'm not going to come on here and talk about the rebuild as the excuse and giving Clement time when that's a load of bullshit. There we go. Colin Ritchie says, why is Lawrence playing, for fuck's sake? We tried to get rid of him in January. Unbelievable. Clement has sent a team out just to win the game. Look, I think the situation is this. You know, it is, for me, this team does smack a little bit of Clement still thinking the league's on. It's not on. I mean, it just genuinely isn't on, is it? You know, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Best of luck to all. Sadly, I think we may need it, says Bluebells. Manager out, says Sean. Your dad, by the way, says, have a good yin, mate. Thank you very much. Henry with some really random comment there. Nothing here, move along, lol. Probably a Celtic fan coming into the live chat. We all know that Celtic fans are obsessed with Rangers channels. Like I said, I've got to say, I've never been on a Celtic channel. I've never even watched a Celtic channel or commented on a Celtic channel. I couldn't even tell you the name of any of their channels. You know, I really couldn't. I can tell you the name of English Premier League channels, you know, like the United Stand, the Redmen TV, AFTV, Last Word on Spurs, Latte FM, Coppish, was it the UTV one, Up the Villa TV. I can tell you those ones, but I couldn't tell you the name of a single Celtic channel. Really wouldn't. Reese Caulfield, new name in the live chat. Welcome. Reese says, wonder there will be any protests at the game. Mate, there could. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see today. I don't think he thinks the league's on. I think he thinks his job is still on. Maybe. Sean says, dogs in, ask for new manager, Rangers at Rangers. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get him. He's here till next season, isn't he? I mean, he is here till next season. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He will start next season as Rangers manager. I guarantee you that. You know, when the first game of next season rolls around, Philippe Clement will still be in the dugout, and we'll be having, I believe next February 2026, we'll having if I'm still here, we'll be having the same conversation. You know, that he needs to go. Because we'll be behind Celtic again. Because I can't see him turning it around. He is not the man. And look, I echo what David Edgar said, what Stevie Clifford has said, you know, what Martin from the Rabble has said, what the Gallant Few are saying, what every Rangers fan media is saying. He is not the man to take this club forward. You know, you can't all be wrong. We can't all be wrong. You know, there's one person who is insisting that he is the man for the job, and that's Philippe Clement. I think even Patrick Stewart's probably having doubts. There's only one person insisting, everyone else says he isn't. You know, one person can't be right and everyone else can't be wrong. That's just it. Only time I've come across a Celtic channel is when I was scrolling reels, hurt my eyes, says Yadar, by the way. He's worried about his job and criticism, so won't start Rice and Curtis, says Scott. I agree with you, Scott. I don't know why he's worried about his job, though, because I think he's pretty much bomb-proof. If Rangers win the Europa League, we'll end up giving him a new deal, says Sean. Probably, mate. I mean, this board are that thick. I mean, and let's face it, when you've got the parks on the board and you've got, I mean, can you imagine their food bill? Must be incredible. They must have so many McDonald's points as well. Incredible amount of McDonald's points. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the build-up, guys. We will be back with your live watch-along. Start time for the watch-along. Let's have a quick look at the start time for your watch-along this afternoon is at, let's have a quick look on here. Live. What time are we scheduled for? We're scheduled for about 15 minutes time, guys. We'll be live in about 15 minutes time. So obviously, please come and join us for that. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, on the way out, if you can, for me, do a few jobs. Obviously, comment on the video on when the comments come up. Share the video. Subscribe. Hit the ring the bell. Ring the doorbell. And remember always, we are the people.